I saw a trend where it was women are responsible for men's failures. So we have Taylor Swift.
Looking like a baddie, I show up and make them stop. Wanna know my name so badly, cause I run this whole block. Flip my hair, move my head, show the world I'm royalty. Wait, yeah. Move it. They wanna know just how I do it.
And so today we're going to talk about how important it is to really have a sense of self in order to navigate through these waters. And
And especially when you're dealing with people who wanna pull you down and keep you thinking small.
well,
I
that's
think
the thing,
yeah.
right? And this topic came from like I'm a diehard, I'm a Swiftie. I am. I do not apologize for it. Regardless of anything, your political views, I love who she is. She's like, "Hey, I want to give back." She's there for the fans. Like, I'm sorry, she's pulling off some banging bangs that nobody else can do. She has been raked across the coals and crucified for so many different things, but yet she has a sense of self.
Oh, 100%. She's got sold out tours. She's got multi billion dollar
Billion.
enterprise, and she's got songs that speak to the hearts of people all over the place. I mean, she's capitalizing and monetizing on her own life, which I think is absolutely brilliant. She's not exploiting anyone else but
She's not
herself.
exploiting people, and that's the big thing, right?
Yeah.
She literally has an army. She has an army of Swifties who are able to be outraged. They change Ticketmaster policies. Come on
Mm.
now. What's happening
Who
there?
has the power
So
to do that?
Swifties do. Swifties do. Right. And you know what it's from? It's because she is unapologetic about who she is. She is true to herself. So a lot of times women have to pay, there's a double standard out there. So Taylor Swift has made money off of writing about what she knows is in her heart. And people are like, oh, like you're going to trust her judgment and what she has to say because she has many failed relationships.
Absolutely. She's got experience in relationships. She knows what doesn't work.
So is it better to say, hey, this relationship isn't working for me or whatever it is, right? The thing is the double standard that I have. I started going down a rabbit hole of the headlines and how they were different. I saw a trend where it was women are responsible for men's failures. So we have Taylor Swift. All of a sudden, Travis Kelce, who's in love, and I'm going to tell you, you know how I know he was toxic before? And I'm not saying anything bad. I love him. I love Jason. I love the relationship they have. But I was mildly a lot attracted to him. So we have I don't know. Oh yeah, you're definitely need therapy if I'm attracted to you. Let's be real honest, okay? But yes, he's head over heels, right? So the right man, like, look, she's pulling off the bangs, bright red lipstick, banging, right? But now because he's not performing well, by the way, he defends her. So I'm not calling Travis out at all. He's defending her. He's head over heels in love with her. But look at what we're doing as a society. We're saying she's the reason. Okay, look at Tom and Giselle Buncham. Look at that, right? She put her life on hold in support. And I'm not going against Tom Brady, love him too, but it's the narrative that's created in society.
100%, because she's the one who stopped her modeling career so that she could have babies and be a mom and support her husband's
Mhm.
career. She was the number one paid model
Banging
ever.
body. Again,
Ever.
Taylor banging, good hair, banging, good career. Giselle banging body, good hair. Like, are we seeing the trend, right? And then
Right.
you want to go after Victoria and David, Victoria Beckham. So they're blaming these women. And then, like I said before, I don't know what to think of the Kardashians. I do love them. I do.
Got to respect their hustle.
I do.
100%.
I do. I don't have to love everything
No
about
matter
you, but
how
I
they
do.
get there, right?
Yeah. So now they're saying, hold on, let's back this up because I go a little deep on these things because I don't just like to talk out of my butt. So we're saying 14 victims of the Kardashian curse. So by the way, it's a big family and it's majority women. So we're gonna blame Kanye on Kim. We're gonna blame
Lamar
Lamar
Odom
Odom
on
and his
Chloe.
stuff on by the way,
Like,
Chloe
they
is my
didn't just
favorite.
lose their ever loving mind on their own, that it had to be the woman's fault.
Yeah. So
They
we're
were just at a
blaming
very toxic point in their life where they attracted another toxic lover. I mean, what can you say? You and I do it. Everyone listening has done it. Come on.
excuse me, I wasn't expected to be called out on this, but if we're gonna do that, apparently. Well, what I'm saying is so look at this. So we have these, I know. We have all these powerful women, and what's coming at them is we're making them. But hold on, let's go to the Queen Bee. Let's bring up Beyonce.
I love Beyonce.
I know you do. And so you and I had a little bit of a tete-a-tete. Is that how you say it, right? And you're like, "Oh, yes, Beyonce, she's the best." I'm like, I don't know." And you're like, "Let's debate this." And so I I'm really working on getting my different perspectives. And I'm like, "Why do I have beef with Beyonce who's got again, I love Taylor Swift,
Billion.
banging body, banging talent, banging hair. Beyonce, banging talent, banging body, banging hair. Why do I have beef with her?" And so I did. I spent a little time reflecting and I'm like, oh, that's because you see too much of yourself and the you put up with in relationships and herself. And so you're projecting. Yeah. So then once I got out
Wow.
of there, again, I went down
Oh,
a
yeah,
rabbit.
that was deep.
Well, it's true, right? Like,
Does
why?
anyone ever take the time to get to understand why they don't particularly like another person? Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Well, and that's what we're going to talk about a little bit later, right? Is like, what is it? Because we've done it, but then vice versa, right? And so I'm going down this rabbit hole of which I do quite often, Beyonce, right? And I'm like, why? She's super talented.
She's super in control of her career. She's the
She
boss of her empire. She's making executive decisions.
Mhm.
Maybe she's a lot of a control freak, but the point of the matter is that she's just not a pawn out there being controlled by this whole team that's
She
managing her.
is.
She's 100% trailblazing her own thing. Like, she's setting trends just like Taylor. Setting
But she's
trends.
not, right? So hold on. Let me back up a little bit and explain myself. We're condemning Taylor Swift and Victoria Beckham and all these other people, but then when you go a little bit deeper on Beyonce, they are protecting her husband over her, right? So hold on. We're condemning Taylor Swift and even Halsey for writing about relationships, but Beyonce put out a whole album called Lemonade and they made it light.
About her. Exactly, about her relationship.
But how is that different?
It's not, in my opinion.
It's not,
It's the
right?
same trend. It's the same thing.
Let's look at Britney Spears too. So the whole point of all of this is there's a different dynamic to things. And let's look at that. Britney Spears, she let just in theory, Justin Timberlake control her. She let her dad took away her whole self-being, right? He controlled her money, her body, everything she did. But the difference is, let's look at these women. It's true self advocacy and being able to have tools in order to combat the crabs in a barrel, the people who want to bring you down, the people who want to hate you, and having a sense of self worth and a center versus when you don't. look at the difference. That's the way I see it.
What specific difference are you seeing in the woman who wants to expose her self-worth to the world?
I think a lot of times there is a lot of projection. So it will be what you say versus who you are. So Taylor Swift is a little bit of, I am who I am. I accept who I am. I'm not perfect. Love me for me. And I don't want to say anything bad about Beyonce because I gotta tell you, she's doing a lot better than I am. She still has a banging body, banging hair, but there is something that is missing or a hold that Jay-Z and the publicist or whoever it is have over her.
And what do you think that would be?
I don't know, but he's what, significantly older than her. He's like 12 plus years older than her. He met her when she was 19. There's a dynamic when women are pretty self-confident and they're like, "Oh, sorry about you," and they put it on blast, right? But then we look at these other women who get the wrong people involved in their lives at a young age. Now that I'm talking through it, I'm kind of realizing it. Britney Spears, young age, dad took over, greed. Jay-Z, young age. She was 19. 19. Did you know yourself at 19, Cynthia?
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Are you just now, as we're
Only just now figuring that part
talking
out.
30 years old?
Right. 30 and flirty now.
Yeah. 13 going on 30, right? I love that.
Right.
I went down a rabbit hole because it started with the women on The View, and they don't have they are truly crabs in a barrel. I don't care
And
about your, go
I
ahead.
would absolutely say that media would be as well, because I mean, when you talk about projecting, who's really the one projecting? Would it be the piece of content that you're reading, that the perspective that you're reading about a particular person or event that might be going on? I mean, you're reading the projections of the person writing the story. So who's really projecting?
How healed are you based on what you read? So
Oh,
when I'm reading this, I'm like, I'm mad. Like, you guys, you and our producer Brandon had to listen to me like text a rant all day long. Like, when I was a kid, first of all, Dolly Parton, don't you dare say a bad thing about her. We will like fisticuffs. Like, I'm coming after you. However, like, now that I think about the song Jolene, I'm pissed. Like, Dolly or whoever's singing the song is going to this woman saying, "Please don't take him from me." I'm like, now that I'm more healed, I'm like, you can have his raggedy ass. I'm not fighting for no
right.
protection, right? But now as I look here and I'm looking at these headlines, I spend a lot of time looking at them and I'm mad. I'm mad for these women because they've done the right thing. But what does an unhealed person look at? Are
That
they
kind of
yes,
shit.
take her down a notch? Is that how we become the crab in the barrel?
Yeah, absolutely. And those are the kind of headlines that turn heads. Those are the kind of headlines that get people's attention, unfortunately. And I think probably in some kind of paparazzi journalism bullshit class, that's probably how they've learned to, publicize things. Excuse my language, but it's kind of like that white trash theater show, Jerry Springer. And then they have
Me, as a Sarasota, Florida girl who lived close to Jerry Springer, and my summers were filled with him and Steve. Like, choose your next words wisely. Hold on, again, Taylor Swift.
Am I projecting?
Hold on, no, Taylor Swift. What does she say? Hold on. First of all, I'm addicted. I don't want to fill my whole wall, but I don't love the drama. The drama loves me. Yes, but yeah, I like to watch it from afar and be entertained. So, but go ahead with your thought. I cut you off.
Oh, no. You're totally fine. It's just, I don't know what it is, but I would just it's all grouped in the same category of reality television, um, the talk shows
Mm.
and the TMZ columns online, the raggedy what you call it magazines that you see in front of the checkout that's just all about the gossip and it's all about tearing people down.
Okay, can I give you a fun fact?
Go
The
ahead, friend,
Enquirer.
friend.
Yeah, so the Enquirer is actually one of I gotta double check this, but back in the day, it was actually one of the number 1 credited sources because they got so tired of being sued for being doing the sensational am I saying that right? Sensationalizing certain things that they had to make sure what they were reporting was accurate.
I mean, but it's absolutely like defamation of character, though. I mean,
Then don't do shit you shouldn't be doing. So first of all, right, don't do shit you shouldn't be doing. But yeah, well, what had
we
happened,
all do shit we shouldn't be doing. Who doesn't?
don't get mad when it gets called out. Like, do better and cover it up.
Do better and cover it up.
Or monetize it. Again, I'm going back to the Kardashians. Like people are like, oh,
Exactly.
she had a sex tape. She did all this stuff. And they're worth $1 billion, like with a B.
Move it, move it. Groove it, groove it. The one and